Cardis and for your steeds, but I'm straight. A-hood in my state, they saluting me. Motherfuckers only hate when you give them something to see. I'm so hard hitting, driven every line of all I've written. Y'all tripping, think you got a chance to catch me slipping, heat ripping. Shield 33 like it need pippin'. Please listen, fuck them rap niggas, my speech different. I ain't saying wait for someone else to put us on the map.
You miss your what?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Hey y'all, it's Lynette. We are back on Delgado's
Podcast Nation. Let's go.
Nation.
Speak up.
No.
Don't be nervous.
So let's talk about how we're late. 15 minutes. So sorry, y'all. This man went around his fucking ass to get to his elbows.
Damn.
Not once, but
Damn, shit, I'm getting blamed for it. That's
It's
crazy.
yeah, you're gonna have to take that.
Mal's
It
been
was a
coming here
pilot.
for like 3 years.
That-
If you don't know how to get here,
You was a pilot.
Bro,
You
nah,
can't even
damn,
say
Phil,
nothing.
that's crazy. That's crazy. Yo,
Let's talk about it.
the way y'all blame. First of all, Chris was late too. Okay,
But
the
that's-
only
but
one that
that's
was
me.
really on time was Bodega.
That's a fact.
He's the
see?
only one that was on time.
I was the only one that was
Okay,
on
but
time.
you know
That's
what?
crazy.
Can we just like mention that everyone expects me to be late at this point?
Yeah,
That's a fact. I'm not even gonna
that's
lie.
true.
I'm never
I'm
expecting
sorry.
you to be on time. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
That is facts.
I really do apologize about it.
That is true.
It's a way of life for me right now.
We getting there. We working on it.
We getting there. We
working
getting
on
there.
it.
Chris, how's your day? How's your week so far?
It's spring break, so this week has been hectic. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, it has.
But here and we just here waiting for. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah,
Lynette.
it's been a hectic week. I'm not gonna lie. With
Yeah,
the
that
kids,
definitely has.
yeah, they've had a whole lot of stuff, and it's only Wednesday, and I feel like I've done literally today. My youngest son, he was like, "Can we just do nothing today?" I'm like, "It's only Wednesday."
I heard they got Build-A-Bears.
Yeah, they had a budget to spend at the mall. You know, when you were a teenager, you're like, oh, can I go to the mall by myself? You know? And so I dropped them off because I had an appointment, and I gave them a budget. And then I saw that they
Went over the budget?
They went a little bit over the budget, but
okay,
I
'cause
was
they
like,
got Build-A-Bears.
but let me prepare myself, because I was like, well, they're probably spending money on stupid ass shit. So I go on my my account to see, and it was they went to Build-A-Bear, and I'm like, my teenage boys went to Build-A-Bear. I think I'm safe, y'all.
Lynette, how's the week for you?
It's been good. Today was a little crazy.
Like always for you.
Happy for this drink. But we're here. We're safe. Kids are good.
Bodega.
Bodega.
¿Qué lo que hay?
Oh man.
Dímelo, dímelo.
Week. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's been a crazy week, eh? But you know what? For the most part, everything is good. My kids is good. Mom's back home.
Okay.
I'm managing, the best that I can, and just dealing with life.
That's what's up. Yeah, it's been crazy week for me because all my kids are gone. So
What kids, bro? You ain't
I was
got
like,
no
wait a minute,
kids.
my
his
work
kids.
kids.
His work
Oh,
kids.
your work
My
kids.
work kids,
Oh,
like, they-
You needed
Man,
to
ain't got no
preface
kids.
with
Yeah.
work kids, because I was
like
like,
they
spring
gone.
break,
So
spring
now
break.
I'm doing like double the work. So
Getting
it's
locked
like
out his car. Let's talk about
Wow, I didn't even mention that. Wow.
I can't believe she just mentioned that. Yeah, I was locked out my car for like 8 hours.
8 hours, bro.
8 hours
My
is
man was locked out of his car for a whole shift. You is a wild boy.
wait, why? Why didn't you call?
Listen, this is what happened.
you're Hispanic. You could
Like,
have looked into it.
And it'd be like maybe
This is what happened. This is what happened. So I was on the phone with my boss.
it. Credit couldn't get it.
Okay.
Aren't you Puerto Rican? You could have broken into it.
Listen, I was on the phone with my
That's a
boss.
fact.
For 4
That's a
hours.
fact.
But damn, that Puerto
That's a
Rican
fact.
comment was crazy.
I was on the phone with my boss. She was already giving me shit and lip, and I was getting aggy. So when I turned off the car, took out the keys, and I left it right there in the middle console. So then I hit the button on the locked door and just left. And I'm like, then I go to inside my cousin's house. I'm like, hey, where the fuck my keys? I go outside, look in the window.
Day ruined.
Dang.
My cousin tried to help. He was like, nigga, can we just break the back window? No, you're not breaking my window. No, what the hell?
I'm still tripping that you spent 8 hours though, because like
Yeah.
there are options.
D-
You
do
are
you-
aware that there are
Then
options, right?
okay, then I tried.
Papa Lock.
Listen, then I called my boy. I was like, yo, there's AAA on the insurance, right? He was like, no, and he got towing. bro, you don't got you don't got AAA. What? You only got towing? So we was calling everywhere. They was like, yeah, we could come out. 175, 200. I was like, what? Nah, y'all can keep that. Keep that.
We'll figure it out.
You tripping
Keep
because
that.
for 8 hours, I'll be damned if I'm locked out of my car for 8 hours.
So
or waiting for 8 hours.
so then my cousin's best friend from back home from Connecticut, she had AAA. So she used the AAA.
Oh, dope.
It worked.
Okay.
Listen, it worked. Got into my car and I was like, finally, yes. After 8 hours.
Yeah.
After 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not me.
Nah, that's
For real.
nasty work. That's nasty work. And
So, Lynette-
locked out a joint for 8 hours, bro. That's whole shift, gang.
It is. I was stressing.
that's
I
crazy.
was stressing. I was fucking stressing.
No, at that point, I'm
What's the
paying.
topic, Lynette? Because we, this is one of your topics that we threw in the group chat, and everybody agreed with one of your topics.
Wow, way to
So-
throw her under the
Damn,
bus.
right?
How was that throwing her under the
Way to throw her under the
We're
bus?
not even gonna go
No,
there.
you gotta be careful with Mel because he got a loose tongue.
Yo,
He
And
definitely
like you
does.
be
I'm
telling him
not-
things on the DL, and then they just pop up on the podcast. I'll be like,
stop lying.
No, I'm not lying.
You know what?
I'm
I'm
not
a-
lying.
So today's topic.
I'm gonna sip on my.
Today's topic: can you be friends with an ex without complications?
in your current relationship, yeah.
In your current relationship.
I mean, it doesn't
No,
even
yeah.
necessarily be
Current. It doesn't matter if you're in a
Complications
relationship or
in
not.
general. In general.
Okay.
In general, can you? Go ahead.
Who's gonna
let's-
start?
Who want to start?
let's-
Who want to start
Nah,
first? Because we
let's
was
start with the
already.
women.
I
Let's
think
start with the
everybody
women.
has an experience with this, so everybody's ready to like talk.
Go ahead.
Let's talk
Go
about
ahead,
it.
Chris.
Go ahead.
Oh, why I gotta start? Hold up.
Dale.
He calls me like I can do something from PA. Ooh, so you called Daniele?
What? I did? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Shout
guy.
out. Thank
Good
you.
job.
You
I-
were real
I
one
call my-
Shout out, sis.
MVP.
Shout
I caught on.
Right.
She was
Shout you
like,
out, cause he be leaving you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He be leaving you
How
out.
dare
I don't
he? It's
even like
alright.
that for you. Listen, I'm gonna look in the
That's why
camera.
we just shot
I don't
it
even
out,
like that for you. The
'cause-
next time you see your bro, choke him out.
That's in
Not for
May.
nothing.
That's right around the corner.
it is.
We'll hold them down for you.
I was just about to say, if you need help,
Damn,
girl.
that is wild. That is wild. I'm getting
alright.
bullied.
Go ahead, boo.
Dale.
I mean, I think everybody has an experience with this. Do they not?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think I have my opinions and then I have my experiences.
Okay, so
I don't know
both.
about everybody else, but I do believe that being friends with an ex can be very wholesome. I think it's actually a green flag if you can be friends with your exes in a healthy way. But can it bring complications? Absolutely. And I
In a
think it needs to be healthy, and there are ways that it becomes not healthy. And so I think
No
if-
boundaries.
yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with how that relationship gets presented and how it gets handled. But I don't know. It can go both ways. I honestly, if you ask me, I truly believe that you can be friends with an ex without complications. However, have I had the opposite of that experience? Yes.
And how did it work so far? How did it work?
I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like, it's just, there's different scenarios. I think that's what it comes down to, right?
Now,
Like,
does
there's
it
always
does it matter
different scenarios.
does it matter if it was a good breakup or a bad breakup?
For sure. For sure.
You think
I
so?
think, yeah, absolutely. I feel like if you end on bad terms, it's.
I mean, why would
and-
you want to be friends with somebody you ended on bad
Right.
terms, honestly?
Right. Unless there's a situation, y'all apologize, y'all actually have a conversation, I think it's okay.
I'm confused as to why the dudes are so quiet. Like, this is a weird episode.
no,
Like,
No,
why-
we listening to you. We,
Listen,
we-
right, like, not for
like
nothing.
that.
Like,
I
I
like
thought
that.
this is what y'all wanted. Like, this is a conversation.
Oh, I didn't
Y'all
know.
talking, we listening,
Yeah,
and
no,
then
I
we can
appreciate
expand
it.
further on what you were
I
talking
like this,
about.
though.
That's
They're
all.
listening to
It was
it's
just a
just
little
weird.
awkward.
It's weird.
what,
Yeah, I was
damn,
like,
they think that we gonna gang up on
Like,
them.
that's crazy,
No,
and
not
that's
even
not
gang
even the
up.
I don't
vibes.
know.
Like, not
No,
for
no, no. I
nothing.
don't
It's
think
not
we
even
were gonna
gang up,
gang
but
up. I
y'all
was just like,
usually
I feel
have
like
a
we're on
lot
the
of
spot.
interjections.
No,
and
because no,
Right.
because we understand that when it comes to topics of this nature,
Mm.
women
hits-
tend
it
to
hits
lead with
a bu-
emotion
it hits a
versus
button.
leading with logic.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
we're just listening, and then we'll
appreciate
expand on it when y'all.
Nah,
know.
I like that. Cool.
I appreciate
All right.
that.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know where I was.
No,
But-
No,
it
no, you-
depends on what terms that you end on.
Yeah,
is what you
yeah.
were
I mean,
saying.
again, like she says, it's experience, and
Okay, but
you know,
You both of y'all say experience, but you got
No,
What's the experience?
Listen, you're
Elaborate on it?
interject. Wait.
yeah.
You're interjecting.
Elaborate on it.
Nah, you're interjecting. Let her finish, and then we can expand on what was spoken on.
Dale.
So fine.
I think different people, and I think women and men have different ideas on this. 100%. And heterosexual relationships are really different than non-heterosexual relationships. Let me be real. And I think that always happens whenever these topics get brought up. We're typically focusing on heterosexual men and a woman together, but that's not always the case. Now, for example, in the lesbian world, that shit is messy. Okay, everybody's friends with everybody.
That's definitely true.
It's just a fact, right? Now, does that mean you have to be okay with it? Correct. Some exes don't know how to play their role, but also I think it's up to you as the person to set those boundaries. So if the ex is not playing that role right, then it's up to you to be like, yo, that's not your place. Right? I mean,
Right.
that's my
Yeah,
opinion.
no, for sure. And if the boundaries have been put in and they keep
Pushing,
pushing,
then there's no respect
then there's
there.
no
Correct.
respect for the ex or the
The
current
current
partner.
person. Yeah.
So
That's what it is for y'all.
Yeah, I
It is
think it
what
would
it is.
depend. It definitely depends.
I'm gonna let you go.
Your
'cause
sister
then
said
I'm
something.
expanding on all of this right after. You
I mean, I'm
expanding
looking
on all of
forward
this.
to it.
yes.
Mal, your sister said something that's kind of long. I'll read it here. If you're in a relationship and your person is okay with it, then yes, you can. But as long as the act is respectful of your current relationship,
Correct.
otherwise it's boy bye.
Yeah.
Correct.
But there's
Yeah,
a lot of
Your
people that
partner
don't.
plays a huge part in that. Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Because if your partner's
boundaries are
not
kept,
comfortable with it, then you should respect your partner enough.
I'm
to
glad you
do what
said
do.
that. I'm expanding on that right after
of
Mal is done.
course.
I'm expanding on all of this.
But like, so I guess where my perspective, my entire perspective until now was outside of a relationship. Now, during a relationship, if you do have a friend that's an ex and you introduce this person, so and so knows about this person comes around because you guys have family, aka kids together. It's kind of hard to cut those ties because you have kids together.
That's a whole different subject.
But
Yeah,
that,
but that's a
I
whole.
think that's a
That's
whole
an,
different
that's an
subject.
entirely different subject
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, y'all have children together. So
y'all gonna
technically,
deal with each other.
Y'all not friends. Y'all are co-parenting.
Correct.
That's an
But
entirely different.
some people are friends.
No. I understand, but at the end of the day, the co-parenting
Comes first.
it supersedes the friendship.
Absolutely.
So it's an entirely different topic
Yeah.
because you share child.
Yes.
Now we're talking about people you do not share child
Yeah,
with.
no.
yeah.
I feel that's a whole different topic as
Correct.
well. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So
To
y'all's
me,
perspectives, yeah.
is a no. You can't. You-
We've talked about this before. I
Yes.
remember. Yeah.
Well, you definitely can't because there's so much emotions that get brought up, and then especially if you guys had a connection, a good connection, even if the relationship ended bad, y'all still reminiscing on what you guys had. So no matter what, even if you're in a relationship, that reminiscing with your ex is gonna come up. Something's bound to happen. Someone's gonna take the shot.
So you feel like the connection's always going to be there. The emotions are always going to be there.
In
Is
some
that
in some
okay?
aspect.
So my question for you is that how you feel about all your other exes? Because I
Right.
can tell you right now.
Damn.
I mean, because if you're gonna play it for the
You
female,
open
right,
that
that you're
door.
with, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
because you're saying you can't be friends with any of your exes
You
because
open
you
that-
still have
Because
feelings.
of feelings.
No,
Like-
there's
So-
definitely no fit. No, there's
So
definitely no
then why does a
feelings.
female have to have the feelings?
Well, I mean, technically
There's-
speaking, right? Let's be honest about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, let's
Fact of
speak
the
our own.
matter is that women operate off of emotion. Now it's not lumping you all together under
no,
the
no.
same blanket,
Yeah.
No,
but
fair.
nonetheless, when it comes to a lot of decisions that women make as a whole,
Correct.
right?
Based off
Y'all
emotion.
tend to lead with emotion.
Absolutely. But can I correct one thing that a lot of women do?
Okay.
Is when they cut those emotions, those
That's it.
emotions go dead as a fucking doorknob. Like,
But that could be for us
no,
too.
no,
That could be
no.
for us too.
I mean, wait,
Because-
but I'm just
wait, now-
talking about like, there's a lot of women who don't come back from losing emotions.
Uh-huh.
So,
I mean-
but let's keep it real on that situation. If we're gonna expand on that, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Fact of the matter is, it took you to withstand a specific amount of shit before you reach that emotion.
Correct.
Instead of you seeing the disrespect from the very beginning.
That's not every woman, though.
That is the majority of women.
Okay, I will
Right?
agree. I will agree.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the majority of women because
Sure.
not for nothing, as women, y'all tend to see the best in a man
Oh, for sure.
versus what the
What
man is
he
showing
is.
you.
Right,
Right?
right.
So you guys put up with so much shit until you reach that emotion. So technically speaking, you are your worst enemy.
Oh, absolutely.
Not
I
that
think
man.
women typically no. We can hold men responsible and the other person in the partnership responsible, right? But yes,
Mm-hmm.
women typically will focus on potential. Women focus on potential,
Right,
Yes.
and what they see in you or what they think
In
you
your
can
partner,
be.
absolutely.
Because yeah, of course we see that person in you.
And I think as women, though, like as a generation of women, we're learning. Let me just say that I feel like women right now are learning that potential is nothing. We can't bank on potential.
Correct.
We're now looking at what is this person bringing me right here and now.
So
Now,
you're looking
wait,
at
wait,
so
wait,
you're-
wait. Because I want to expand on that real quick, right? Because we're sitting, no, because y'all had y'all time to talk, right?
No, you can.
I left
Okay.
y'all uninterrupted, so I'm just gonna expand.
No,
so
go ahead.
The funny thing about that is that might be a shared sentiment, but the actions on that are the contrary. At the end of the day, the best way for me to say this, and I'm gonna look dead in the camera when I say this, stop expecting Future to be Russell Wilson. It does not work that way. You
Damn.
you can't.
Okay.
Y'all women cannot want somebody to not care and care in the same
is a
sentiment.
different topic.
That is.
No. This goes
Absolutely.
to this.
Okay.
You want to know why? And I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of women, they look at a man's potential, right? So when they're looking at this man's potential, they're bypassing the red flags. They're looking at the potential of the man versus what the man is actually doing, right? So then now you're doing yourself an injustice.
Absolutely.
Because you're overlooking the red flags. At this point, you turn into a bull.
Correct.
You're charging
But
toward the red
let me be
flags.
very clear that you're talking about a percentage of women that is very quickly diminishing.
Okay,
Let me be
there's
very clear. The majority of women right now are doing the work, and that's why there's so many men. There's an epidemic. This is an epidemic of single men. There is a rise on women who are absolutely okay with being single because they are realizing just what you're saying.
Yeah.
I did this for too long. They may be in their 30s, they may be in their 40s, maybe they may be in their 50s. And they're like, you know what? I did this for too long. From here on out, I'm looking at what's in front of me, and too many men ain't stepping up in this, you know, and I'm
Correct.
only talking heterosexual, right? Because that's typically what we're, you know, men
Right.
and
What we're-
women.
yeah.
Correct.
What's happening right now is women, and I talk to these women all the time, okay? In my profession, women talk. This is what's happening. They're realizing, oh, I can't bank on potential. I've been with this man for 10 years. I've been with this man 3 years, 20 years. I'm done waiting for this man to be who I want. I'd rather be single.
So here, but
Correct. We could be
Correct.
bad all by ourselves.
But
And
see,
that's
here's the
women
thing,
all
though.
over.
But here's the thing with that situation, right? And we, regardless of what the percentage is, let's speak about how y'all are your own worst enemy. Because at the end of the day,
We're learning that,
regardless
yeah.
of what percentage of women is learning from their mistakes and moving forward and correcting their way of thinking, nonetheless, I don't care what anybody tells me. This generation of women, that woman intuition, that shit don't work. I'm gonna keep it a bed because at the
Repeat
end
that.
of the
Hold
day,
up. Repeat that, please.
let me say this again. I'm gonna say this very
I need
slowly.
to make sure that I
I'm gonna
understood
say this
what
very.
you're saying.
This generation of women, that women's intuition shit does not work.
Lies.
That is
100%.
fucking
Lies.
bullshit.
Whole
And I'm gonna
generation.
tell you
Hold
why.
up.
Wait.
This is where I'm gonna call you
wait,
out, though. This is where I'm gonna call you out
We
because
may
you
ignore them.
No.
This is a rise. I'm sorry, but you I don't know what generation you're focusing on, but I'm gonna tell you. And you know what? No. I'm a girl's girl. So baby girl, doesn't matter what generation. I know you working on you because there is a rise of women not giving a shit and trusting their intuition.
Yeah.
Wait.
100%. That's why it's a it's a whole
It's
brand
different.
right now.
We're
Working on
definitely off
you
topic,
and
but
still
it's
letting
okay.
the motherfucker that disappointed you click.
Hold on.
Is it in it? Wait.
Maybe that's the women you dealing with.
No.
Maybe that's
We're
the
not
women
bypassing
you
that.
dealing with.
We are
That's
not
crazy.
bypassing that. At the end of the day, I don't care what y'all tell me.
Bodega.
You can say whatever you want to say. Y'all be too busy waiting for Future
Y'all is a
to
whole
act
lot of
like
people.
Russell
Y'all
Wilson.
is a
It be
whole
the
lot
wor-
of people.
Really?
Bodega.
Really?
I
Wait,
am
no.
waiting.
lot of people.
Nah, I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell you why.
Please.
I'm going to tell you
Please.
why. Because if any of y'all exes were worth shit, y'all would still be with them.
Honey,
At the end of the
if
day,
I was
say with
working
me.
on
Wait.
myself-
I'm not excluding myself from the situation.
true.
Men and how is that not true?
Because
how
people
is that not
grow
true?
and change.
Wait, no.
People grow and change.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Are you with any of your baby fathers? And I don't even know how many baby fathers you have. I'm asking you, are you
That's
with
private.
any of your baby fathers?
I have one baby daddy and no.
Okay. Are you with your baby daddy?
What does that have to do with
Okay.
anything?
I
You
don't
can't
have
say
that
we.
with
You
you.
can't say.
No.
You can't say we ain't got no kids.
Are you with your
I'm not sure where this is
ex-girlfriend?
going.
Hell no.
Okay, so with this, no. We're not gonna bypass this. At the end of the day, every single one of us on this planet, men, women, if you identify as a AAA battery, I don't give a fuck what it is. We have all made mistakes. We have
Correct.
all chosen the wrong person for
Yes.
the wrong reasons, right?
Okay,
Yes.
sure.
So what
Of
I'm
course.
saying is that at the end of the day, when it comes to women in a heterosexual relationship, right? Women tend to stick out the relationship looking at the potential
Absolutely.
versus
I don't
what
deny
this
that.
man is
Not denying
actually
that.
giving you.
Not
So
denying that.
when I come off saying that women's intuition shit does not work,
That doesn't make that
no.
doesn't make sense.
Bodega.
It makes total
That-
sense.
no, it
Increasing
doesn't.
volume doesn't
listen,
help.
Listen,
Hold up.
listen. Wait up. Let me explain this to you. If somebody told me on Monday that Tuesday I would get into a car accident, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not driving that day.
Okay.
But women's intuition will tell you that man right there, that motherfucker ain't worth shit. And you know what you do?
Ignore it.
You bypass that and you go toward the potential
Okay.
versus wait. Versus what this man is showing you.
Henny.
So as far as I'm concerned, this
He's
woman's
angry.
intuition shit does not work.
Okay,
because
what I gotta
y'all
say.
ignore it.
Okay, what I gotta say is first, Bodega, I'm really sorry that these are the type of women that you are encountering. Okay,
Yes.
because there are a whole group of women, and it is absolutely growing. The whole industry is growing on women learning to trust their intuition, embodying their divine feminine. I'm sorry, but I'm all for it. And I'm seeing women of all generations learning and growing. And if you mean to tell me that at any age you're not seeing women who are actively growing, yes, they're not going to be with their current, maybe their past partners, because I fully expect a woman to grow in her 20s to have a different mindset, in her 30s to have a different mindset, in her 40s to have a different mindset. I'm even expecting from 35 to 36 to have a different mindset if you're going through situations that are growing that mind and that intuition and that wisdom. You get, like, yes, those people coming into your life that you leave in 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year, you can't mean to tell me you're the same person you was last year. If you are,
definitely
you're
not.
stagnant.
You're not the
That
same
got
per-
nothing
you're
to do
not
with
the
other
same
people.
person at
You know
all.
what I'm saying?
That
You're- you
and
grow.
Your partner also
You
changes.
grow.
Like you
Correct.
can't
So,
expect the
as
partner
those
that you had 5 years ago
Absolutely.
to be the same person despite
And
what
that
they
is a
go
problem.
through. Yeah,
in relationships,
absolutely.
that's why some relationships don't last, because you expecting the person you was with 5 years ago to be the same person you're with 5
Correct.
years ago. Like, that's just not. It's not
Hold that
how
thought.
it should be.
Hold that thought. Hold that 5 years ago thought. That's
Go ahead.
all I'm gonna tell you. Hold that thought, because I can expand further on this, because again, from day one, You knew this
Women trust in their,
motherfucker wasn't
hold on,
shit.
let's read this.
Wait.
Rockies, well, I'm sorry, did I say that
Women
right?
trusting their
Rocks.
intuition, yet they still single in their 30s and 40s with children and raising. I
Okay.
can't read the rest of it.
Yeah,
I
can
can't
you read the
class
rest?
on
Can you
two.
read that?
Raising standards on top of that. Also, they look over good men for men that ain't shit.
Okay,
So-
hold on. I have something to say about this. Women are choosing to stay single because y'all think you the shit and you ain't. I'm sorry. Let's just be real. You think you giving women everything they want, and when they're single, they realize, oh, I'm doing all this shit. I'm good. I'm growing. My bag is good. I'm fucking glowing. The sex is good because I give it to myself, and I always come. And y'all
Damn.
come in
Pero
trying to
esta-
say,
yo, pero
here,
wait,
let me
red
cook-
flag,
let me cook
penalty.
this little broccoli
Ya,
and shit.
pero espérate.
No. Let's be real. If we're gonna be real, I'm gonna tell you what women are saying in their 30s and 40s. I'm single. I'm doing it myself. I'm fucking killing it. I'm having the time of my fucking life. And men want to be like, huh, I make a little bit of money. Like, bitch, I make my money too. Like, the fuck you have to bring me? Let's be real.
Damn.
Okay, all right. So with that being,
Pero,
wait,
yo,
wait,
pero
wait.
we
So with that being-
off topic in this one.
Yo,
Nah,
for
so
real.
with-
You
wait,
entirely
So with that
left.
being said, right? So with that being said, right?
Absolutely.
This is what you're telling me the majority of women are saying, right?
Correct.
Okay, now let me just give you a rebuttal on that, right?
Sure,
because
absolutely.
this is what women are telling other women.
This
But
is what
then
women
they're
are doing.
expressing different things on the internet. So this
That is true.
So
That
this
is definitely true.
This is where I
So
get
they're not-
at.
they're not
This
being
is where I
real.
come from when I tell you that at the end of the day, I don't believe none of that shit, because I'm going to tell you, the track record show, not for nothing, let's keep it a bet. How many women are going to catch an extra body from a motherfucker they don't know?
Okay, but
Wait, no. Wait.
How are
Y'all
you-
What do you mean?
spoke.
I'm gonna
What do you
Wait,
mean?
No.
What you
y'all
mean?
spoke. I let y'all speak
That's fine,
uninterrupted.
that's fine.
I'm just asking for the same respect.
We're opening the phone lines. If you have something to say, you want to join this topic, the number is 352-717-4071. Please join us.
So, am I tripping with what I'm saying? Because what I be seeing on the net be the opposite.
But they're not-
social
Wait,
media ain't shit.
But so, yeah, social media ain't shit.
Y'all will
People
say
be
no.
bullshitting on social
Y'all
media
will
all
say
the time.
y'all will say social media ain't shit, but then every single person on this planet makes it a habit to post on social media.
Yeah.
So people understand where they at and where they coming from. So that
Fine.
statement is invalid.
No.
Not for nothing. No disrespect.
No, that's fine.
an
That's your
invalid
opinion.
statement.
That is your
At the-
opinion.
that's a fact. It's
Correct.
my opinion.
You're right.
I'm gonna sit with that.
We're gonna say
as
it's
a
your
man,
perspective from
as
what
a
you're
man
seeing.
though,
That's
as a
fair.
man from a man's perspective, hearing from other women, you figure out that a lot of these women with this masculine energy, these are the women that tend to make the worst decisions. They built the masculine energy because they kept choosing the same motherfucker. Wait. They kept choosing the
that's my
same
show.
motherfucker in a different body.
No.
And now we're no.
Yo, tonight's topic just went whole
We
left.
are not.
Somebody
Wait.
take his cup.
No. At the end of the day, this is a fact. Y'all kept choosing the same motherfucker in a different body, and now all of a sudden it's women are fucking learning. No, at the end of the day, y'all did yourself an injustice
So
when
you saying-
you decided to sell yourself on the idea of a person
I agree.
versus the person
Bodega.
that they were
Yes,
showing
that-
you
I'm agreeing
that
with
they
you.
were.
I'm
Yes,
agreeing with you. Women
yes.
are realizing that they disgrace themselves. Absolutely. And now
But that's why things
can I
are
read some? Hold
changing.
on. Can I read
That's
some
my
actual
mom, by the way.
statistics?
That's my mom,
Hi,
by the way.
Lourdes. Thank
That's
you
my
for
mom.
tuning in.
Hi, Ma.
Hi,
Hi, Ma.
Let's go ahead and read her comment real quick, and then I want to read some. Women are not trusting their intuitions because they still take their exes
Correct.
back or keep believing their lies.
This is fact.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about fact, but yes, does it happen? Especially if you in that dynamic.
If you are not growing.
Correct. But if we can talk about facts or statistics. You ask me about facts, I'm telling you statistics.
Now
They
you
don't
better
choose
bring up the
feminism.
statistics. Oh
They
my
choose
god.
Yes, of course. Because
Yeah, what's
that's
up? Yeah,
what
yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
Ay, Dios
Okay.
mío. This whole entire
Statistically-
shit went left.
No, it's
Statistically-
not a left. This
No,
is
no,
a
no,
good
it's a-
conversation
of
because
course.
It
this
is.
is something that we all identify with.
Correct.
We all
Yes.
have exes. You got a baby daddy.
Everybody.
You got a baby daddy.
Yeah.
I got 3 baby mamas. You 0.
Three is
You the
crazy.
lucky one. But at the end of the day, we are all related to people that we don't want to be related to.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
definitely.
I understand. All right,
Okay,
we
so
good.
the facts are
Okay,
that
we're
with
good.
some studies, there's predicted that by 2030, 45% of women will be single and childless. There is a rising number of single adults, mostly women, okay? They are choosing to remain single, choosing to focus on themselves and their growth. This may not be your current experience or current perspective, but let me tell you that because of the statistics, there's more and more studies being done that this is the route we are going. You are going to find women choosing themselves more and more. You are going to see women saying no to men who are bringing the bare minimum, talking about, I'm a good guy. You know how many good guys are the ones that are fucking stalking, sending fucking dick pics, and they're all the ones saying,
Bro.
I'm a good guy.
Wait,
Wait,
no. Don't even say nothing. Let them finish.
No,
Let
no,
them
you good.
finish
Go
so
ahead,
we can
interject.
rebuttal.
Yo,
Do we have
this
any
is
calls?
crazy.
Do we have any
What?
calls?
This is crazy right now.
I'm just telling you from from experience.
No, for
It's always
sure.
the good. They say they're good guys, and then let's say one thing goes wrong, and they fucking spaz, and then they end up like, "But I'm a good guy. Why don't you want me?" And it's like,
But wait up. If we're gonna go there, right, and we're gonna speak about these men, let's speak about
I'm not
the.
talking about all men. Be real. Like, I
I'm not
never
talking about all
generalize.
men. Again, I said
You're
these
welcome,
men.
Nelsie.
I didn't
I'm
say
here for
men.
all the
I
females.
said these men.
Of
So at
course.
the end
Of
the day,
course. I
was
agree with
singling
Bodega.
out that specific demographic. If you're entertaining conversation with that specific
Correct.
demographic, that's a you problem. That's not a us problem.
No, hold on, because I'm sorry,
That's
but I
a
don't know
you
what.
problem.
Absolutely, it would be a me problem if I was entertaining that. The problem is
Correct.
that most men
but a
don't
lot
need
of
you
women
to
do entertain it, though.
it.
No, a lot of women do entertain it.
A lot of women
Sure.
do, but
the
that
fact
one
is that
person, the
even
fact
the people who don't still get that. Oh man, I'm sorry. I get hype and then I start
You
throwing
see
shit.
how hype she get? She start boxing
the
with the
mic across
mic
the
and
room.
shit. You see that? She try not for that. She trying to get back from Balanga.
I missed it. What happened? Oh, I'm sorry, mama.
try to get back.
Trying to get
so
back from
cold. I know
Balanga.
Yo,
Like, that's crazy.
oh my god, this I need to take off my hat because whoo,
You getting hot?
yes,
You
I'm
getting
getting
hot.
hot
Me too.
because what the hell, this shit went left and then how we got like 3 different topics on one right now.
No. I think it's the same topic. Although it's not
still-
the topic that we started with. Let's be
Yes.
real that we're not talking about that topic anymore. We're talking about dating, I guess,
we've-
and men's and women's perspective.
We've grown.
We just grown in the last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes.
Speeded past that subject.
We didn't even talk
and we
about
went
that
to
subject.
the opposite right side.
Like, what the
So
fuck?
rename
It
the
is what it
podcast.
is. It is what it is.
You're right.
But-
When it comes to women, I do be ready to fight.
Nah,
Yo.
and I get that, and I respect that. Like, I have none, I have none against feminism. Let me say that.
Can we
I have-
narrow down an age demographic? Men are not monolithic. I'd love to like.
There
Oh,
is
what
no,
up, cuz?
wait,
What's going on,
wait.
cuz?
There is no age demographic. Because now that the internet is into play, it's
No, I
anywhere
disagree.
between
I
15
disagree.
and 65.
I
don't wanna
disagree.
hear
That
it.
is
I
true.
disagree. I mean, if
I
you're
disagree.
What? How you disagree with
Because
that?
There
if-
are age demographics that act certain ways because of how they like
We're
what they how they
what
experience
they
the
grew
world.
up.
Yo, it's some of
Yo,
these.
do you know that
it's
there's-
some-
how they grew up.
Yo, it's some of
Now,
these
let's-
older
let's-
dudes.
Let's run it back. No,
It's some of
let's
these
run it back.
older dudes that are sending D pics over a dirty toilet bowl with
Yeah,
dirty
because they
Hanes
looking
socks
for
on.
sugar
We
babies.
gonna keep it.
But
a
at the same
band.
but at the same time, they sending it to that, right? They sending it to them. But that woman is probably she
Are we
loves
saying
Yeah,
probably,
probably.
or are we going to say that the women who do that?
the woman who do
Let's-
it and accept
No
it
blanket statements.
and
Correct.
accept it, they're horny as hell. They're horny just like the men are that are sending dick pics.
Listen, let me be very clear. There
Now
are
sit
always
straight.
going to be women.
I can't.
who are-
The mic is too far right now.
There's always
Says
going to
she's
be
short.
women who aren't shit, and there's always going to be men who aren't shit.
Okay.
That's never going to go away, no matter
Thank
how
you
much
for saying
growth.
that.
Correct.
Thank you for saying that. I
Happens.
appreciate you
Of
for
course,
keeping it in bed
of
on
course. There's always going to be women who are nasty and men who are nasty. But when it comes down to statistics and how relationships are evolving, is the fact that we'll read the comments in just a second. Is the fact that the reality is that a lot of women, heterosexual women, are remaining single because they are realizing that they focused on the wrong things. They've made their mistakes.
Yes, that's
and now
true.
They would rather
But men
find
are doing the same
peace
thing as well.
Of themselves.
No.
Men are doing the same thing as well.
Listen. Wait.
My voice just cracked.
Wait.
They're sure.
My bruh,
This
listen.
man just went through puberty.
Let
yo.
them finish. Let them finish. Because she
But-
coming
Yo,
in and she's sitting there hot. She's
I
sitting there
know.
hot. Let her get it off. And then we can get it off after that.
So my
Correct.
thing is
I agree,
also
Marquez.
these
Good-
people
yeah.
that stay
What up,
in
cuz?
these relationships are the same people that grew up saying, "Oh, stick together. Oh, you have to, for better or for worse,
Correct.
deal with this,
We're
deal
learning,
with that."
yeah.
Like these are the people who grew up knowing like a family doesn't split up,
Correct.
right? So you try and try and try until you don't want to try
Until you
anymore.
don't want to try no more.
Right. And
And
at
the
this point
options
you're
that women
realizing like the only thing I'm doing is hurting my children trying to try with you when nothing's changing. It's just getting worse.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm going to cut ties.
Yeah.
I will deal with my children and I will continue the path to growth.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
for what?
I'm going to let you go
ahead.
because I want to end on my note.
Of course he
I'm going to
does.
let you go.
Of course he
So I
does.
can end
No,
on
I
mine.
completely
Because I
agree.
already see your face and I want you to shine, my nigga. You know what I mean? Not for nothing.
No, Mel hasn't said much.
I want to
so-
see you shine.
Go
so
ahead,
you
Mel.
shine and I'm going to come in on the back and pause.
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 Yo, I know
Major
everybody
pause.
that's commenting right now. I know.
I know. Did we
Cause
wanna
if
read
y'all want to
any-
call in. Listen, the lines are open tonight.
Yo,
'cause
we got
No,
9
your
minutes.
cousin said something, and then we had another.
Aisha.
I had two. I had two
Raisha.
cousins that said something. Ricky said
Can
something.
you
Then
read a few comments?
Marquez said something.
Make
Like,
sure that we're paying attention.
Aisha, nah, most niggas don't even play their
Oh, that's my
traditional
bestie.
roles, but yet want women to play their role. Y'all niggas calling out.
You got niggas calling out of work because they tummy hurt.
You right.
Facts.
Wow.
wow.
Facts.
Can't even hold on.
I can't even hold
But that's not a. I'm a rebuttal to her comment. I'm a rebuttal to her comment.
I call
That's
it
what bestie. Let me handle this.
Wait, hold-
So at the end of the day, let me tell you,
That's not a real nigga.
if you choose
That's
the
a
sassy
fuck
niggas,
boy. That is a
that
fuck
got
boy.
nothing to do with us.
But you know how many
And I'ma
sassy
say,
niggas are out there right now?
no. Sassy niggas is their own demographic.
I'm
We
glad
don't
you
deal-
mentioned
nah,
demographics.
that is
We don't
facts. That
deal
is
with-
true.
we
That
don't
is
deal with
definitely
that
true.
sassy
That's
shit
my
over
point.
here.
That
It's
is
At the
definitely
end of
true.
the day,
Demographics. That's
at
a great
the-
way to
so,
say it.
So it's with everything else.
Correct. I
We gonna
agree.
keep it a bed. You stay with a nigga that you saw potential in, and that nigga didn't even see it in himself. So this nigga
that
moving,
is crazy work, and that
this
is so
nigga
true.
This nigga was
That is
not
so
moving,
true.
right? And you was still like, you know what? That's my man. I love that.
That's
nigga.
my boo. That's
man,
my
man,
You know what I mean? So
Y'all
at the end
tripping.
of the
There's a
day,
lot of women who
that
ain't doing it
has
no more.
nothing to do with anybody else.
Yo.
That's a you problem.
Okay.
That's not a me problem. But at the end of the day, as a man who made his own mistakes and did things in his own way and cut people out of his life because he had an inability
To do
what?
that.
to express his
To express-
emotions
okay.
because that never really worked out for him.
Yeah.
That's not the right route to move. If you're in a relationship with somebody that's being genuine with you, being open with you, and they're displaying this to you, they're not playing with you. I'm telling you, as a man, take time to open yourself up.
Correct.
You have
Because
to.
there's a potential of you losing a blessing because
And you don't even know it.
have an inability to express yourself. And I'm telling you from personal experience,
Yeah.
you have to be able to express yourself. You can't expect anyone to love you if you can't be 100% about you.
With yourself.
With yourself.
And
No,
the
no, no.
partner.
I mean,
And
with yourself
general.
with yourself is a different relationship. We're talking about with somebody
true,
else.
but you can't be yourself with someone or 100% with someone else if you
you
don't
don't
even
love
know
yourself,
what you
yeah.
are.
Correct, but we're running on the assumption that you've already established that.
Okay.
You
But a
understand?
lot
I
of
don't
people
think-
get into relationships and don't do that and haven't.
No. See, and that's the problem. So
Correct.
let's,
It is a problem.
So let's touch on that because y'all saying that, and it's once a motherfucker hits you with the macaroni mixer 6,000 single speed joint. Now all of a sudden,
Wait,
now,
you just lost me. You just lost me on
I'm not
that.
just
What are we
losing.
talking about now?
At the end of the day. The end of the day, if I hit you with the best dick you've ever had, now all of a sudden we in a relationship together. It does not work that way.
No,
What I'm
nah,
telling
nah,
you
I don't
is
think
that
it- I
as a
definitely
man-
don't think it's that.
As a man, once you've reached that mind frame to where you understand that everything is not sexual, and you understand that what you're looking for is an emotional.
Which is why dick will never be enough for a woman.
That's not true.
It is
No, it is
That's
true.
not
It is
true.
true.
Because
It is
no.
true. It is
That
true.
is
I'm not
not
talking
true.
about
This is
not
opening
talking
devil's
about-
wounds. We
Wait,
just
wait,
opened
wait,
devil's
wait,
wounds.
wait.
No.
If
Yo,
that's not
for
true,
a real
if
ass
that
woman,
is
a
not
dick
true,
will never be
there would
enough.
never be a "Are we dating the same guy?" Facebook page.
No.
It would never be none of that.
For a
Y'all
real
women
ass
operate
woman.
under emotion. Y'all do not operate
You
under
tripping.
logic.
You
We are
tripping.
gonna understand that because
You
the
tripping.
fact, no,
Oh,
the
shit.
fact that
Tripping.
y'all have
Yo.
baby daddies
Tripping.
instead of husbands and still in relationships.
daddy was
wait,
my
wait,
husband.
wait,
Yeah,
wait,
you
wait,
know
wait,
my
wait, wait,
husband,
wait,
because
wait.
a lot of times
But
that's the
at
whole
all
thing.
right, okay, so you're telling me that your baby daddy was a husband, but at the end of the day, y'all not together. You want to
what
know
does
why?
that- that doesn't-
Wait, no.
I think-
There's a you
Why?
can hit me
Careful,
with the, that
Bodega.
has nothing to do
Be
with
careful
nothing.
because
but at
you're
the end of the
treading
day,
into something
we
very
as men-
sensitive for a lot of women.
We
And you gotta
as
be
men-
careful.
We as men and women have seen the potential in somebody that has already showed you that they ain't shit.
I don't know what that
No,
has
no,
to
no,
do
no,
with
no.
the with
There's
the
a difference.
conversation.
No. There's a difference between a person that sells themselves a delusion versus a
Okay,
person
but you
that
keep
lives in
going
reality.
right back
No,
to
no,
that.
no.
When we were just talking
Let's
about
get-
how
no,
for
no.
a real
Let's
woman,
go-
dick
let's-
ain't gonna be
we can-
enough.
Listen, we can go-
100%.
we can go back to that, but at the end of the day, you're not with your baby daddy because you got tired of that
Correct.
person showing you that they wasn't shit when you should have left them the first sign that they wasn't shit.
Okay,
That's the
I think
problem.
that
One,
is
that's
why-
a whole different conversation.
No, this
Yeah.
isn't a different subject.
No, but
This
it is
is
a
the
different
same-
subject.
How?
Because
how?
you're not even.
Espérate.
How?
If you
How
want to
is it a
hear,
different subject?
let me tell you how that's a different subject. Give me a second, okay? Because in order for you to be talking about hoes in 1 second, about what they're
No.
gonna fuck. No.
Before you
Wait a
expand,
minute.
did I say hoes?
No.
Did I say
did.
hoes?
She did. She
No,
did.
no.
She just did.
She
Right
said
here.
hoes.
Yeah.
I didn't
Right
say
here.
hoes. I didn't say hoes.
I'm gonna
No,
let you
no,
talk.
No, we're not
Look, give me a
freestyling.
second.
No,
No,
we're not
I'm not
freestyling.
freestyling, but let me
I
talk.
said at the end of the day,
No more
y'all
Hennessy.
not with y'all baby fathers
Okay.
because y'all got tired of these men showing you.
Correct. I mean,
that we're-
she didn't say you was calling us
wait,
hoes.
no. So with that being said, you are your worst enemy because when this person showed you the first time they weren't shit, you say, you know what? I don't even see that because I see
That's not
that
the
this
truth.
person.
A lot of women.
No,
okay,
no,
okay,
no.
okay.
I'ma
Because
tell you right
again-
now-
Because again, let's go back to the part where we're
My
trying
guy
to
straight
keep
bucket.
our family together.
I'm speaking
because
facts,
no,
my
you're
nigga.
not
No,
speaking
because you
facts.
can't
Speaking
understand.
facts.
You're
These is
not
facts.
understanding.
Bro, whose
you're not
facts
listening.
are they though?
You're
Because you're not listening
listening.
to other people's perspectives. They're not
Because
facts.
you're
when it's just
so
your perspective.
strung or hung
you
up
think
on the
just
fact
because
that
you're raising your voice, like
No,
I'm about to
this
say a
has nothing to do with
Zelensky
raising
kind
my
of comment.
voice. This has to do with the fact that we're gonna keep it a band.
We are
Okay,
keeping
and
it
then-
a
All
band.
right, so keeping
what-
it,
so,
so
okay,
keeping
so
it a
our
band.
previous
Keeping
conversation,
it a band. You was
Bodega.
talking about women's empowerment, how more women are getting to the
We've
mind
talked
frame.
about a lot of different subjects is the problem here.
We're
That's what I'm trying to
expanding-
come
We're
back
expanding
to.
on that point. You yourself stated that there's more women of every demographic
Correct.
right
Now.
now
Correct.
that are realizing that they stuck around for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong
Am I-
reasons.
Wait, no, am I correct with saying
But
that?
yes,
Well,
you're
then why is
correct.
your back
But
turned?
Now, wait,
you're
wait, no,
also-
no.
what?
We're
Why
not
is his
going to
back turned?
supersede that.
His mic what?
What I said was exactly what I said. You as women, regardless of what demographic it is, what percentage it is, you saw
Same,
the
Mr. Hype.
potential
I'm trying to bring it
in
back,
a
though.
person. You saw the potential in a person that was showing you exactly who they were.
Correct.
As women, as
Lovey
men,
Marie,
we're
women have been
speak-
involved in domestic violence situations
We're
while
not
I was
even
trying to
talking
make it
about
work.
domestic
Oh,
violence.
now
I
we
know.
definitely
So
can't.
hung
up-
We definitely can't talk about
so
that.
hung up-
No.
We're
hung
not
up
talking
on the
about
fact
DV.
that we
We're not
stay
talking-
in these situations
But we're not
because
talking about domestic violence.
Okay,
With
but
that- all
Bodega,
of that
give it a
is
minute though.
eliminated from
Hold
this
on, give it a
conversation.
minute though.
Breathe. I need you to
because-
breathe.
Correct.
I need you to breathe.
Because
Breathe.
at this point, Bodega, you've brought up 5 different subjects.
You
Let
did.
me be real with you. Let me
But
be real
they
with
all
you. I'm keeping
correlate
it
to
a
the
buck.
same
Reel it back in.
junction.
No, it's not. Listen, at first we're talking about relationships and how women are will look over red flags. Please let me help the
let's
people
start with
here,
the first
right?
topic, how the conversation started.
Okay.
Like, can you be friends with your ex?
Okay, but we didn't even get there.
We didn't even get there.
That was one. Topic
Where
number
did we
one.
get there?
Go ahead.
So,
Topic
Woo!
number two.
we're talking about how women will overlook red flags.
Correct.
I agree. We all agree
We do.
that we, as women, have had a habit of overlooking red flags for potential.
Ignoring intuition,
Okay?
which you said. Correct.
Now, we stated that we agree with you, however, that there is also a rise in women who are, and that's statistics, that are growing, and there are demographic, they are a whole group of women who are doing the work and choosing not to do that. And you stated, Mel, that there are also a group of men that are deciding to stay single for that same fact, because they're
definitely.
deciding what type of women they want. So then that
Yes.
brings up our third
Correct.
topic, right? Which is typically like, okay, that there's shitty ass men and hoe ass men and shitty ass women and hoe ass women. We all agree on that front, right?
That's true.
facts
Okay, we could definitely agree on that.
Correct. That no matter what, there's gonna be people in your DMs. There's gonna be, shit playing around. I didn't get to read it. My bad. I was like,
God said that cup got socket. It said that cup
you
got
right,
topics
because
in
I'm
it.
trying to
Yo,
like-
that
He's like,
shit got-
what the fuck is he talking
listen,
about?
I
He
didn't even
hit
gonna hold you.
7.
This cup has unlimited topics in it. You
This
hear me?
man has been talking to
Unlimited
his
topics.
therapist the
I ain't
entire
even gonna hold
show.
you.
correct.
This man's been
So
talking
then we
to his
got
therapist.
women and men can all be hoes. You have made a statement that if the dick is good enough, the women's go back. I'm gonna tell you right now,
Lies.
exactly,
Lies.
a majority of women,
Lies.
for a
Listen.
good woman, hold on, give us a minute.
Go ahead.
Bodega. For a good woman, I'm not talking about hoes, and we've all been hoes at some point. I ain't even trying to.
Everybody was in their whole phase.
So don't get stuck on a fucking name. For a good woman, a dick will never be enough. 100%.
Never. I'm
Don't
telling
get
you.
stuck on it.
Okay.
Don't.
It's the
Nah, I
truth.
gotta laugh.
funny.
That
That
shit
was
is mad funny
That
because
was
it's like,
funny.
listen, we're not gonna focus on the hoes. We're gonna focus on everything else but the hoes.
Because you're because we
that's
can't
your label
pretend
on
that
it. Fine,
everybody
whatever.
is the same. Let's be real.
No,
But if I'm
everybody's
trying to
definitely
talk
not the
about like
same.
a
No, no, no,
demographic
no,
of
no.
majority of women, the facts are what you are seeing in studies and in demographics. There are things to prove facts, right? And then your last point was again coming back to that we change, we're not with the same people. And I think that is a whole nother topic, that the reason why you're not with that person is because,
It
or
has
you should have
many
left them a
reasons.
long
It's
time
many
ago.
reasons.
Women have a
We're-
lot of reasons for staying. And I want to
Correct.
say that for the majority. And I think that's what Lovey Marie was trying to say. I'm sorry, did I say that name correctly? If I didn't,
think so.
I apologize. But that's why she was bringing up DV, right? Because unfortunately, with abuse, which happens to a lot of women,
Not just
that-
physical.
Correct.
Emotional is
and mental,
is
and
way
financial,
bigger than
right?
physical.
Correct.
Mental.
Way bigger than
All
physical.
that has a huge play
Correct.
on as to why a lot of women stay. So yes, it comes back to potential. I'm not gonna front on you. Yes, it comes back to potential, but you've got it. And this is a whole nother conversation.
And ignoring the intuition, because we already know.
I don't think
yes.
intuition plays a part when you're committed. And I think for a lot of women, we were taught, a lot of women were taught, you stay committed because it's the right thing to do for your family, for your kids. It's your job to bring the best out of that man. And I think a lot of women are realizing that's not our job anymore.
I will
Everybody-
give you that. Now I will give you that because not for nothing. That is a staple.
You need water next time is what they do.
Water. He needs
That's-
some milk.
So not for nothing, right?
Can it be chocolate
Not,
milk?
not for nothing. That is a staple
Oh,
of the
so-
Hispanic household, right?
He's still a hoe.
I will give
Sorry,
you.
Sabrina, I love you.
I was a hoe too. You see, it happens.
You know what I mean?
I'm
give you
sorry,
that.
Miss
Like, that
Hyde.
is a
Ain't nobody
staple of the
judging.
Hispanic household. But now, on everything that you spoke
Nah.
about, right?
I ain't never.
At
That means
no
you don't know how to
point-
pleasure
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
I'm
look at
sorry.
that one. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, whoa.
sure,
Bring
sure.
that back.
Bring that back.
No,
Bring that
no,
one
no.
back.
Sure, some. Can we capitalize some?
Some,
Okay,
Because
all
right.
right.
let me
So,
tell you.
wait a-
Listen, I've had some really great stuff, and no, like you fuck up once, I'm.
All right, but because
after my marriage, I was like, no, like I don't have to deal with this.
Correct.
We are not legally bound together, and the minute you mess up, I'm gone.
Okay,
like I
now-
don't have to deal with that.
I get that, but that percentage of women is that percentage of women. Now, the rest of the Jezebels out here, you understand? No. I let y'all talk.
You're right.
I let y'all
I mean,
talk.
for like 2 minutes, but
uninterrupted.
okay.
But
At the end of the day,
but you broke it down. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I mean, I
5.
was trying
rest
to
of
help
the-
our audience.
the
Yeah, they were
rest of the
confused.
Jezebels out here is not on that type of timing. They took all this women and tuition shit, and they still make the wrong decision.
Yeah, but-
and that when nah, and then they jump on the internet, and you know what's the first thing out their mouth? These niggas ain't shit, bitch.
That is true. That is definitely true. That is definitely true.
Y'all niggas really don't be shit. What don't y'all
But
understand?
no. But y'all is too many people and too many in a different category.
Wait.
Are you making Jezebels too big of a category?
Listen,
That's
as
too
a
big.
motherfucker that knows that he ain't shit.
Yeah.
All right, my mama know I ain't shit, so that means you know I ain't shit.
I need
If
to
you
go back to sleep,
decide,
'cause that-
and even after you know that I ain't shit, and you let me clip, guess what? I'm not the problem. You're the problem.
I
The
agree.
problem-
Agreed.
Y'all
the
both the
problem-
problem.
true.
No,
Wait up,
definitely
wait
is
up.
true.
So at the end of the day, with that being said, there is a large majority of women, okay, that continue to choose the same motherfuckers in different bodies because they have the inability to realize
There's no
that
growth.
there's no accountability.
I agree.
This has
There
nothing
are
to do
women
with
and
growth.
men who
This is
100%.
Okay.
We're not
accountability.
saying. Okay, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Thank you.
You know
what?
are not
that
wrong.
just made
because
my heart smile
That's fine.
hearing you
Yeah,
say
of
that.
course.
It's true.
Of
But
course.
to say that that's the majority,
that is
I
not
think
all
that's where you're wrong.
I didn't say. I said there was a specific demographic of women.
Correct.
Let me say that again. I never said this was a majority. I never said this was all women. I said this was a specific demographic.
Correct.
You're
With
right.
that being said, right now in this dating scene, there's a whole bunch of people who ain't shit on both sides.
Correct. I said that.
This is what I'm saying. So with that being said, women ain't shit, niggas ain't shit,
Correct.
everybody ain't shit.
Correct.
Wait, and it's
No
the
one said
same
you were
circle.
wrong.
And it's the same circle,
And
right?
that
It's a-
circle's getting smaller and smaller. Is what I
Correct.
want to
and
say.
you know what? I love that for everybody
Correct.
because
Yes.
as long as everybody gets to the mind frame to where you actually have value as a person. And you should value yourself, which means you do better when you choose
Correct.
better, right?
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
Well, a lot of
It's-
people
it's-
don't
$1,000%.
choose better
great.
because
That's
they
on
still,
them.
No,
That's on them.
you
That's
wanna
not
know-
dumb, but they
you wanna
don't
know-
choose better because they like going to the same
Toxic.
No,
toxic shit
'Cause you're
over and
toxic.
over and
Thank
over
you
and
for
over
saying that.
fucking
over
So
and
now-
over and over. They like that's what they attract.
Because
That's what they attract.
Because people
Yeah.
do not understand that whether anybody wants to realize this or not. we
mother knows you ain't shit, then you ain't shit.
We all have.
Your mother knows you ain't shit. You ain't
We
shit.
all have.
What's
the
up,
shoe
Love
fits,
Marie?
wear
We
it, my
all
guy.
have toxic traits.
Can't get defensive if you know it doesn't apply to you.
No. I ain't shit, so everything applies to
He
me.
ain't
But that's neither here nor
Yeah.
there.
Women
At the end of
always
the day,
think they can change a
at the
man.
And you're right, Janira.
Even
That is
when
something that
they
I
know
think
he
it's
ain't
like
shit.
it, you know what? A lot of women have that kind of programmed into
True.
them that it's their job, and that's why I said that it's their job to fix and bring the best out of somebody. But I think
Yeah,
more
but
and
hurt
more
people
women
hurt people.
correct,
That's
and I think
hurt
more and more women are learning. Right?
Correct.
That they
Like,
can't. That
it's
that's not their
my job to fix you.
Correct. And
we
they're
want
focusing
to.
more on themselves.
We want to
I don't
because
fix
we
nothing,
see the potential in you. Because we don't want
Wait,
you
wait,
to
hold
be
on, you just
broken
said that you want
forever.
I don't fix nothing but air
No, no.
conditioners. That's it.
Hey, wait, you just said
Real
you want
shit.
to fix them?
No. In
I think a
most
lot of women do
relationships
have
they
that
see,
built into them.
you know, but I
As
can
the
fix him.
nurturing type.
I can
I
because
can fix you. I
No,
can
no.
I can fix you. You ain't
You think
shit.
it's funny.
But you know what? That's Joe vibes. That's Joe vibes.
But you gotta be
not
able
my
to hear
bitch.
a female's
no,
You not
perspective
my
on
bitch.
it.
Listen,
But I
you
can
gotta be
fix
able to
you.
hear
You're not even
female's
listening.
You're gonna
perspective
love
on
me.
you're
it.
not even
I can
listening.
fix you.
Let's see what they say.
Yes, you're not even listening. That's how women think. Like,
Acho.
you're broken. You've been through this. You've been through that. Let me help heal you. Let me fix you. That's how women think.
But isn't it? It could be both. It could be both ways.
It
as
could
well.
be, but
There's
y'all
some
men are not.
but it's
No,
Whoa, whoa,
No.
whoa!
We are
That's a
not-
whole
no,
different.
no, no,
Whoa!
no. We are not gonna throw a blanket statement on
You've been
men.
throwing them all
no,
night.
No.
You've been throwing these blanket statements
I
all
stated-
fucking night.
No,
No,
not
we
you.
agreed
Y'all,
to the,
not
wait,
you.
We agreed to the fact that I said a specific demographic
Sure,
of women.
sure.
Okay.
If that's what
So
you want to
how
call
is that a
it.
blanket
Okay,
statement
so there's a
on all
specific
women when I'm speaking on a
demographic.
specific
There's a
demographic?
specific
That's what I'm
demographic
throwing
of
out
men
there.
who don't give a shit. They're gonna
What?
do what they do regardless of who the person is.
I agree.
right?
I think a man will only change for the woman he chooses. That goes for both.
That goes for both.
But
There
I
ain't
do
enough
agree.
Hennessy
That goes
in
for
this-
both.
There ain't enough Hennessy in this cup, bro. I gotta
Yeah,
Yeah.
pour
he
it
needs
out.
another shot.
That goes for both. That definitely goes for both. Cause just like my new tat.
Here we go.
Time heals all wounds.
Look at you trying to show off your new tat because of my
Listen.
two tat.
Time heals all wounds, right?
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. You are fucking killing me. My new tattoo.
Wait, hold on.
Wounds. Get the fuck out of here with all that shit. Get, bro.
But that saying is
I don't agree
strong.
with that saying, but it's fine.
What do you mean? Because even it goes
another
for
topic. We're not
it
gonna
goes
talk
for
about it.
it goes both ways. For if I got a good partner, and she can heal some of my wounds, it goes both ways.
I don't think that has anything to do with time. I think okay, so if we want to talk about wounds, right? And this is a whole different topic though. If you have a partnership, right? Everybody's coming in with their fucking baggage. Everybody's coming
Everybody
in
has
with their wounds.
baggage, definitely.
Correct. So
Everybody
there's
has
nothing wrong
baggage.
with
Unless
saying
you've
I have
healed.
growth, right? Like even healing. Baby, I've done a whole lot of healing, and let me tell you, when you get into a relationship, you still got triggers, right? And it's
Yes,
up
you
to
do.
if you
Yeah,
find a
but I-
person who's willing.
Yeah, that's a different topic for me.
Correct.
Because
It's
at
a
that
whole
point,
different
like
topic.
for me, if you still have triggers, if you
I
still
want the
have baggage,
oxygen
if you
she's
still
inhaling.
You're
That's
always
some
gonna-
good shit.
You're
I ain't
always
even
gonna have
hold you.
triggers,
That's some
baby.
good
No,
shit.
wait.
you
Oh
have
my
to
God,
work
I'm hot.
through that before you try
Okay.
to involve yourself in someone else.
No. I don't believe it because you know what? You could do all the healing in the world, and you're still not going to encounter the triggers that you're going to encounter when you're with somebody who.
I'm gonna
has
hug you off
other
camera. That's
problems.
a fact.
No,
That's a
no,
fact.
okay.
You see
There's
that?
always going to be
No,
something
you
you
see
got
that?
to work with your
Well,
partner.
no. You see that right there? That is accountability. That
A lot of people don't know how to take accountability.
That is the problem that men typically have with women. Is that even if a man fucks up and he realizes it,
He fucks
way
up, he's gonna
later
take
on
accountability
down
for
the
it.
line,
But a lot of
he'll
women
take
don't take accountability for
accountability
themselves.
A lot of
But
men don't
that's
either. Don't
and
start
and
that
again,
conversation.
wait. I'm not saying it's all women.
No,
Again,
I'm listening.
this
Yeah,
is a specific demographic.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, there's a specific demographic of women
Topic
that
number
do
9.
not
Bruh, you ain't
hold
lying.
themselves
I know.
accountable. That's all I'm saying.
There's
No,
a
no,
whole
that's
bunch
true.
of
But that
people.
level that you at
1000%
right there,
true.
that level
Yeah.
that you at right there, I love that for you because
course,
you
but
understand the decision that you made. You hold yourself
This is the
accountable
growth that I think a lot
for
of
that.
people are getting to, though.
Yeah.
I do believe that this is a movement of people realizing, what do I need to work on?
Correct.
What do I need to work on to have a healthy relationship? What's wrong with me that I'm bringing into this
Yo,
relationship?
you sipping Hennessy VSOP? Because I think that's
Nah,
what I'm going to
this
start
is-
buying. I ain't even going to lie.
This is
I
all-
think she
look,
on VSOP,
that is all
bro.
Chris.
I think
That
that's
is-
what I
this
need to
is
start
all
buying.
me.
do be
'Cause
sipping
what-
Hennessy, but it's not now.
Whatever it is that you sipping, you need to start suggesting that shit to that specific demographic of women. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think
No.
so. Triggers. Listen, even when you talk
well-
about if you go into like a therapeutic setting, you're gonna have triggers. Now you
No.
can lessen those triggers.
Correct.
but
I agree with that to a certain extent, and I hear what you're saying, because at the same time, yes, you're going to heal the triggers that once triggered you. If you've never been
Maybe-
triggered by a situation, you wouldn't know how to
Correct.
deal with it. So I get that. I
Correct.
get that.
There's no way. Like if all your triggers are relationship based, you can't do that by yourself. So what
can't.
you were coming back to is yes, you do play in a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
You play a role in your person's healing just as much as the other person plays a role in your healing, right?
Yeah.
You can't both be stepping on triggers and being like, well, fuck it, you deal with it yourself. Y'all ain't gonna grow together.
Then y'all not
ain't
gonna
gonna
grow
get
together.
nowhere,
Y'all not
right?
gonna go nowhere.
But yeah, if I notice, damn, this is a trigger for you, how can I lessen that for you? And then vice versa, right? Then you guys are growing in that way, but you're still accepting, like, yo, this is something I need to work on, but thank you for helping me work on
Yo,
it.
I ain't
That's-
even gonna hold you. That is probably the sexiest situation I've ever been explained.
That's a
I'm not
healthy
gonna. You want to know
relationship.
why? Because that is so healthy right there. It's like,
Men aren't
listen,
held
at the-
accountable. What?
No.
Look,
Wait.
Real
Before I
men-
expand,
the real
let me-
men
wait,
hold
wait, wait,
accountability.
wait.
Take
Let me-
accountability.
Let me explain
Right.
that. Just because the men that you have chosen
They don't take accountability.
don't choose to take accountability, that's your situation. That does not dictate to everyone's situation. And this goes back to what I say. It's the same women that decided to see the potential in a man versus what a man was showing
What a
them.
man was showing
and
them.
they and they decide to stomach a specific amount of things before they get fed up
And
to
leave.
make those
Correct.
statements.
Correct.
At the end of the day, this is an accountability thing. You
Correct.
fucked up as a woman. This man showed you the first time he was his shit. You should
you
have
still
cut him
stayed.
off.
And you
should have
still
cut
stayed.
him off the first time.
Correct.
Now,
Men.
out of
Correct.
loyalty and love, I can respect the fact that you overlooked the first transgression.
And-
But when you hit the second transgression, the first transgression is a mistake. The second transgression was a willing act. You should have understood it at the second transgression. But now we're on transgression 15, and now all of a sudden, all men ain't shit.
I wanna
And I'm
be
just saying,
very-
specific
No.
demographic
For
of
specific
women.
demographic.
No, I
Sure,
don't
what
agree
I-
with all men ain't shit. I don't agree with that. But go
Definitely.
ahead.
Shit.
I agree. However, I think honestly what would help this whole conversation is to stop saying men do this and women do this. Because
We
at this
all-
point in 2025, I'm sorry, but there's a whole bunch of sassy ass men. There's a whole bunch of masculine women. They're all trying to it's just I really don't think that there's men and women in this category anymore. This is all intermingled. Women and men are doing the same shit. Men aren't holding themselves accountable. Women aren't holding themselves accountable in some instances. But what I do want to say that I feel like this is kind of veering off into is that we keep saying women have made the mistake, women have made this mistake. Yes, I agree with you, but also
Specific
let's
But
not
men too. But men
specific,
too, though.
correct.
Men
But
too.
also, let's
Specific
not stop. Like
demographic.
that means that the men are fucking. Like I don't think that it's all on the woman. Like
No,
we
no,
can't
no.
be putting
No,
it
it's
all
not.
on the
No.
woman.
But
right?
men too.
But understand, as a man, I can only speak from the men
Your
aspect.
perspective.
For sure.
I can't
Fine.
speak from a woman aspect.
For
So
sure.
and this is why I'm saying.
but you're
and
also-
no. But I'm not saying it's all women.
Nah, yeah.
I'm saying, and I'm stating openly, this is a specific demographic of women. This isn't all women, and I understand this isn't all women. You understand? There are women who hold themselves accountable. There are women who hold themselves at a specific value, and I respect that. I love that for them. But we're talking about as a majority, okay? And the majority of what you're hearing as women and as men is that both sides ain't shit. Whether
Okay.
it's men moving sassy or women with masculine energy. At the end
But
of
everybody
the day,
moves funny no
here's
matter
the
what.
situation. Women may think that a specific demographic of men are moving sassy, but at the end of the day, you choosing those men. And at the end of the day, the men that are stating that women
what?
have masculine energy
louder, what you
are
say?
I am
choosing
not.
those women.
Okay.
I am
this
not.
this is a fact, because if that was the case, it wouldn't even be a topic
You
of discussion.
moving funny.
There are a specific demographic of women who are choosing sassy men, and there's a specific demographic of men who are choosing masculine
Yeah, but
women.
y'all don't be sassy in the beginning. I'm just
They
saying.
be sassy up
No,
front.
y'all
They
don't be sassy in the
listen,
beginning.
y'all be
Listen,
looking. Y'all be
have
looking
to-
at
So
pictures
what-
of they men, and they have
So
purses.
explain for-
no.
explain-
They're
No.
wearing
No.
purses.
Nah.
They are
You're
wearing
doing too much.
purses.
You be extra.
You being
No. They're wearing jeans that are tight
Jeggings.
enough for you to
Jeggings.
say, for you
Jeggings.
to know
They're
what
called
their
jeggings.
motherfucking
Bodega.
blood pressure
Jeggings.
is from their thighs. Not for
Jeggings.
nothing.
Jeggings.
This is a fact.
Those jeggings.
This is a
Guys.
fact. They look like they put their
Oh,
sisters'
shit.
pants on.
I need
They
a shot.
outside with a Gucci bag, posted
Let
up on
me
the
teach
corner.
you something.
What?
They're called jeggings, first of all.
Guys, let's wrap it
Jeggings,
up.
Second
I
of
didn't
all-
even know that.
That's-
because
Second
I
of
don't
all,
wear them.
That's
guys,
wild.
guys, we're done here. We touched on 10 different topics
No,
tonight.
no,
but-
we didn't touch
but
on.
it was a great
did,
show.
we did.
Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Mal, we out. Bodega, we
Thank
out.
you everybody for
Thank you.
everybody for
Especially
tuning
everyone
in.
who tuned in.
We on hype streams, you know,
And it was
hype nation
extra
stream.
hype tonight.
Dot
Yeah.
stream.
We on Hype
Um,
Nation streets, and there's still dudes out here wearing they sister jeans. I don't
Jeggings.
care
I just
what you
taught you
say.
something.
We not bypassing that. Y'all out here with Gucci purses. We not
They're
out.
called
We not
Merces. They're
no,
called
no.
Merces.
I don't care what they
They're
call.
called Merces.
Y'all out here wearing
Purses
purses.
for men.
We not jacking that.
Merces.
We not jacking the
She
tight
is-
jeans. We
They're
not
called
jacking that.
Merces.
Okay, and
You know what? Some of these men wearing, I don't think it has nothing to do with the jeans. Some of them be acting like better men than the ones wearing pants off their ass. So I don't know if we're going back to clothes or whatever.
nah, they
I don't
out
think it
here
plays
wearing
any
tight
part.
jeans and
Yo,
wearing
this is-
purses.
But
We
thank you,
with that.
Okay, but we
Y'all
love
have
you
a great
guys.
evening,
Thank
though.
you for tuning in.
Much
If you
love.
missed the show,
Y'all have a great evening though.
Catch
Minus
us
the
Saturday.
Gucci man purses,
Oh my
you know what I
God.
mean?
Listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Thank
Starting
you.
in April, we will be on iHeartRadio and we will be on Odyssey. So I can't wait for that. That's a big look. I was telling Lynette in the car earlier, I got something big for tomorrow. I'm hoping that it goes through, and then we'll do like brunch podcast live at
be so
starting
much
at bars and stuff. So I'm hoping to lock this one in tomorrow.
I
So
love
if that happens, that's another big
So that
look.
means free Hennessy, right?
That's
'Cause
another-
I
No,
love that
that's
for
not what he
me.
said.
You and the
Food,
Hennessy,
yay.
yo, Hennessy
Yeah,
is not
no.
your therapist.
What you mean? Hennessy
Nah,
is
that's-
my therapist.
and his
Hennessy-
This
topics.
is why.
Hennessy
This is what.
good.
We need. You know what? Can we bring a real therapist on?
We could do
Oh,
that.
we could do
I
that.
actually have one available that we can bring on.
No, we don't want your therapist.
That isn't
You
Hennessy.
know what your
No. This
Yeah.
person
You know a
actually
therapist.
has
Wait, thank you everybody for tuning in.
I'ma keep it a man.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Bless everybody, and I thank everybody on this couch. Hype. The collaboration so far has been great. The work has been great, and can't wait to go forward and to
If you missed us,
launch
watch
more.
us on Saturday.
Watch us on Saturday nights. We got the primetime slot 8 to 10. Hype Nation stream. You already know who it is. Delgado. Let's go.
Place for the me's to jam me up with the D's up 84. Line for Cardis and for your steez, but I'm straight. A-hood in my state, they saluting me. Motherfuckers only hate when you give them something to see. I'm so hard hitting, driven every line of bar I've written. Y'all tripping. Think